So this is the building that I'm staying in. And so now we come to the cooking in Strasbourg video. Found my way through a supermarket, and when I got to the checkout, because when I shop in Adelaide, I put this all just into the basket, and then I get one bag and put it all in, a plastic bag for every little individual one. I got there and said, oh no, you've got to go back and weigh it yourself. So I had to go back and I got little labels, stuck it on here, little labels, stuck it on there, little labels, stuck it on here. And because I only want to do enough for one meal, because I'm only here for one night. And I got the smallest piece of meat that I could get. So, piece of Fion, that's too big for me really. No cat to eat it. Very nicely. Some stock, some salt, that'll be good. Because I wasn't sure what stock and that I would have here. I'll chop one of these potatoes into really small pieces, and then that'll boil down quickly, and I can mash that in the stock, and that provide the thickening. So I won't bore you with the chopping of the veggies. So we got the meat browned and the onion slightly softened, and water, and the big pieces are spud in. Obviously they'll take the longest. And I've got these little fine pieces of potato here. They'll go in and they can break down and they become the thickener. So it is got it the right way around. That's last night's cider. A couple of beers for tonight. It's perhaps indicative that here they've got a corkscrew but no bloody bottle opener for the beer. There's the red. So I've got everything in that pan. Just going to simmer down now. The bouillon stock cube was as hard as the hobs of hell, and so I didn't put it there straight away. I've softened it in some warm water. I've tried putting it in a hole before when it goes hard like that, and all you do is cook a hard lump of bouillon. I've never got any idea what one I'm buying is, so I don't even bother trying. And I think it depends where you buy it, how much it costs. So once I did see a bottle in a bottle shop in the restaurant, and I thought, oh, that'll get me. It's about €5 a bottle, it's about $7.50. So that's the sort of price range I was just buying at. Nice wire corkscrew. With Airbnbs, I don't know why they don't give you a bit better glasses. Still, I'll see what that's like when it breathes a bit. Switch that off. Let it sit and cool down a little bit. Wouldn't have minded some Worcestershire sauce to go into it, even a little bit of Baylox, but it's fine the way it is. Doesn't need any more salt or pepper. I suppose I should show you what it looked like. Bit of brie, bit of cracker, bit of red, bit of pommy food. So, just finishing that stew soup, pot au feu, casserole, hot pot, whatever. Rose by the name smells as sweet. I've had a full bowl of it, and I bought the smallest turnip, the smallest swede, the smallest carrot, the smallest onion, the smallest bit of meat. It's still enough. And I probably could fit it in, but if I do, how do I fit in my svelte-like figure? How do I keep that It's either stop eating too much food or stop drinking too much wine. So I've chosen to stop eating too much food. And people are on the ship with over a few days. On the last day, I said to them that morning, look, I hadn't had any alcohol at lunchtime for most of the lunches because I always wanted to do something in the afternoon, go on a tour or something like that. And when I have booze, I treat it like a drug. It's a drug. And so I know as soon as I have it, it's going to slow me down. I'm not going to want to walk around famous monasteries or whatever it might be if I've had even one glass of wine, to be honest, which is why I don't have any at all, not even a light beer at lunchtime when I want to do something in the afternoon. But I said, I'm going to make up for it today, which was the last day. And we were back on board. That was in, where was that? Rouen. And so I did the whole Joan of Arc thing, which was really good, as I've told last video or second to last video. And got back on board and had a couple of beers just as we were unmooring and heading off. And from there on, the beers they were serving on board, I think they were only light beers, which is good from their perspective and from a drinking from lunchtime till later in the evening perspective. And then I had a few reds with lunch and didn't really get up from lunch till, I don't know, 2:30 or something like that. Had to make the decision. Oh, no, I played clarinet at 2:30. And so that went on for much more than the half an hour than was planned for. It was half an hour. And as I said on the video, it went on, they wanted an encore and I said no. And then the staff member came up and said, look, would you do an encore? Because everybody's asking for it. So as a musician, good day if people are asking for more. So I did another few songs, 15 minutes or so. And then they wanted more. And so I did one more and they still wanted to carry on. Genuinely. But I stopped. So by that stage, it was something like 3:30, 3:45. And if I'd had an afternoon nap at that stage, I would have woken up and felt bad. So I didn't go to sleep. But I switched to light beer, I think I said. Anyway, the point of all that is I went into that evening meal about 7 and multiple courses of wonderful French food, which I haven't bored you with the photos of. And then I think they started doing karaoke, which I wasn't going to do, but I ended up doing some with everybody else. And I don't know what time we went to bed, 10:30, 11 o'clock, but I certainly had my fair share. Point of all of that is, next morning I got up, scrubbed up, and had some breakfast, put on a nice clean white shirt, one I hadn't worn before. And the guy who had been up my toe, he said, how do you manage it? How come you scrub up so well in the morning after you drank so much all day yesterday? And part of the reason is personal management, I think, because I went for a run that morning and you run out the alcohol metabolites. Whether you do or not doesn't matter. I believe you do. And that means it works. Placebo effect is very powerful. And so the point of all that story is the dinner I've cooked tonight is basically a root crop stew with some meat in. But it's potato, tubers, obviously, carrot, root crop, swede, root crop, turnip, root crop. I didn't put garlic in because I wanted to, but I didn't want to buy a whole bulb of garlic and waste most of it. And I find that suits my body hugely. And I don't think this is a placebo because whenever I cook it, which is not all that often, but whenever I do, I wake up really invigorated for a couple of days. So there's something in root crops that suit my body. So I'm expecting to be quite energetic tomorrow. And that's the end of the soup story. I thought I might point out that there is a nice view from one of my windows. So I shall. These are great books, except my French is inadequate to enjoy them. And Directly down below me is the restaurant I took a picture of today. There's another restaurant over there, and there's a nice little back square. And I should be grateful that I'm not up there where that woman is, because that's probably another 3 flights of steps. Looks like another shop down there as well. I'm so tempted to just go and play something out there, but it's bloody cold. And then see there's lights on there. I don't want to annoy anybody. But then again, I'm never coming back, am I? So we shall see. So welcome to John Bolton's Chinese Laundry of Strasbourg. No, it's not bloody racist. It's just indicative of our history. And so I'm up in this loft. And at least 3 sides, probably the 4th side's a long way away as well. I can't help myself. I'm not going to bore you with it, but I'm going to have a play. I do hate maintenance. You remember Hertzberg and Maslow? Hertzberg's psychological maintenance factors and Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Well, I've made rods for my own back tonight. Why didn't I go out and just buy tea at a restaurant? Now I have to do the dishes and get rid of the scraps. And why did I play music? Now I've got to pack all that music away. Life's a bitch.